This is going to be a bang bang review and versus of the Polk Signature Series S55s versus the old guard Infinity P362s and 3s. A lot of substance, not much flash, so here we go.
I'm pretty familiar with the P362s and 3s. Those are nearly the old guard of quality, speaker, and value. My current setup is two Infinity Primus P362s with an SVS P1000 powered by a Harman Kardon 3490 at 120 watts stereo RMS. Before I ran this test, I let the new S55s break in for over 50 hours. I tested both these speakers using the same receiver in the same location in a room 13 by 30 with 8-foot ceilings, using the same audio clips, using the same recording method, no EQ, using the same volume, a step or two below common maximum volume comfort levels. The recording settings were placed center of stereo at tweeter level, about 8 feet away, recorded at 768 kbps, targeting just the raw audio with no noise suppression whatsoever. I selected a few samples for testing and review here. I tried to select a range of sounds, vocals, drums, guitars, speeds, softer, more aggressive audio, to really review and show the range of these speakers. Put on some good headphones if you really want to hear the differences. Obviously it won't sound as good as in person, but it might serve well to highlight any differences. Note there's no subwoofer in this test.
And don't worry about me, I've got everything I need. I wanna see the world through my own eyes, climb a mountain to see the sky, across the stars on the other side. And don't worry
Here's some snapshot samples of the audio I recorded. Shows the sound waves of the same clips side by side, but between the two different speakers. The first was always the Infinity 362. The second was always the Polk S55. Note the visible brightness on the 362 and the fuller, warmer sound on the S55.
After listening to both thoroughly, I will say they both sound great. I'll admit I was surprised by how good the Polk S55 is. The new power port on the bottom actually does offer nice bass and distortion reduction. Much better than most floor standards I've heard, including the P362s at this price point. Nice enough to really contemplate the need to drop another $500 or more on a good sub. The S55s match the P362s on its best points, but in addition offer more body and better lows. Whereas with the P362s, it's nearly a requirement in my ears to add a good sub. The Infinity 362s are a bit brighter with solid mids and highs, but not much on the bottom end, especially considering the 362s have hundreds, if not thousands, of hours on them, for me at least, and the S55 has 60 to 70 hours tops, with far superior bass and much tighter cones. I'm still impressed by both speakers. For this price point, you couldn't do much better than the Infinity 362s or 3s in their prime nearly a decade ago. That likely still stands pretty firm today. They still sound great and have better specs than many new speakers coming out. I was hoping for a similar price point. The Polk S55s would be at least as good, and I'm pleased to say for me and my taste, they're even a bit better. It's just a fuller sound, and they lack nothing. They've got good highs, good mids, some actual lows. You'll never get that gut punch without a sub, but you should all know that anyway. If you're thinking home theater strictly, you're going to get a sub anyways. But for music listeners, you may actually be able to get away without having a sub unless bass is your thing. I'm undecided at this point if I'll add another sub myself. Overall, I'm really impressed with these Polk S55s, and I'm pleased to have bought them. I'm usually a little jaded, but was truly surprised at the sound that these offer. The sound is clear, crisp, warm, room-filling, no excess noise, with any decent receiver, no harshness whatsoever. Some towers lean quite bright and can get harsh. These are not. These are musical speakers, and they're no slouch with movies either. I hope this short versus test and review comments were informative. I feel like tons of people had these Infinity 362s and 3s, just like I did, and they're getting a little old in age, so these Polks seem to fit the bill even more so hopefully it's helpful.